Hi everybody, this is DearMamaSal and the word of today is buddy. Well, hi everybody, this is DearMamaSal back again, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about how important it is to have a buddy if you're trying to get things accomplished. And I want to give a little example of this. When I was doing the broadcast this weekend, one of the broadcasts, I knew that one of my viewers, Jody, was trying to get something done. So I asked her how long she thought it would take. And she told me a couple of hours. And I said, okay, fine, then here's my deal. I will support you by doing a couple of hours in my art studio. Now, my art studio is a real stopping point in my downsizing, because that psychologically, when I've got that downsized, I don't have very much left. And that means that I'm going to have to put the house up for sale and move. So you understand that this is a big a big trauma in my life, and I don't want to do it. So, but to do it for somebody else, that's the amazing thing. You'll do it for other people when you won't do it for yourself. So I committed to doing 2 hours in my art studio. The interesting thing was, I got in there yesterday and I did about half an hour, and after half an hour I was really amazed. I was sweating. I was doing so much bending and moving and putting things away and doing this, that, and the other. I was literally breaking out in a sweat. So after half an hour I needed to take a break, which I gave myself. And as soon as I sort of got everything working properly again, I went back and I did another half an hour. And then I went on with my life, because I had committed to doing 1 hour yesterday and 1 hour today. But what I found was, in the evening I went back and did a bit more. And this morning I got up, and between my first 2 cups of coffee, which normally, nothing gets done because my brain cells are still trying to find each other, and I was in there doing something else. And so the point I want to make is, had I not made the commitment to my friend Jody, would I have done it? I don't think so. It's because I committed to supporting her in her goal that I actually took a major step forward in mine. Now, what I'm also finding is that I'm getting a lot of other things done as well. For some reason, I've got a bit of a spurt going on at the moment in terms of downsizing, and I've got a new system. I'm trying to get more steps into my life because I'm not doing enough. And what I found is I'm getting smarter. And it's taken a long time, 71 years, but I'm getting smarter. So what I'm doing now is I am keeping a box of stuff to go down to the garage, and at least once a day I take whatever's in the box, or the box itself, down to the garage. And while I'm downstairs, you understand that steps going down and into the garage, and while I'm in the garage I tidy up a bit there. And actually it's surprising how well I'm doing down there. It looks a lot better than I thought it was going to. So, and I'm starting to do things like, now I'm starting to sort out my tools, which is a big job. But I'm just doing it little bit by little bit. At the moment I'm taking things off my pegboard and then going, oh, I thought I'd lost that. Oh, look at that. Now you're wondering, why am I taking my tools with me to a fifth wheel? Well, I think I got room for them. And I had always promised myself that when I retire I will use them more. And so if I end up not using them, and I think I probably will, because I'll have more things to make and do now. I want to make my own frames, for example, things like that. So all of this is stuff that I promised myself I was going to do. Now, what you're saying to yourself, and I said it to myself, is if you haven't done it by now, why would you do it? What makes you think you're going to do it later? Well, you know something? If after a few years I find I don't, then what I will do is sell it all. That'll be my motivation. Well, you know, I love having a sense of humor because it really does help me in my life. I drove all the way here to the store to pick up my groceries, which I ordered online last night. And you understand, they pack them and then, you know, you just pick them up the next day, which is a wonderful system, and I love it. And they don't charge you extra for it either. However, having driven all the way down here, I waited a while and they said, do you happen to have the order number? Because we don't seem to be able to find the order. And I went, The only reason that could be is because I didn't hit the GO for go button at the end of the order. In other words, I remember picking the time, but I obviously didn't press the go right ahead and get it all ordered and done. So, you know, that's why I think it's really good to have a sense of humor, because if I didn't, I'd probably be beating up on myself. And in the meantime, I'm going, it's such a beautiful day. It's 23 degrees in Canada. It would be 74 for those of you who don't speak Canadian. And, you know, it's just like, it's a beautiful day. Gave the car a bit of a run. I got out of the house. I mean, what's not to, yeah, wasted a bit of gas, but not a lot. You know, and so what I said to the woman was, well, I obviously forgot to press the button and do the order. So I tell you one thing, and she said, what's that? I said, I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And she burst out laughing. So it's a good day. I made somebody laugh. So the whole point about, I was explaining during the vlogs this week, you know, you have to understand that everything in life is a lesson. Everything in life is a mirror of how you live your life. I've always said, you know, you are the way you drive your car. If you're always frustrated and cutting people off and doing whatever when you're driving your car, you're late. And that's who you are. You've got bad time management, or you try to do too much in a day, and you refuse to accept that, but you know, you punish everybody else along the way. That's the way you are, the way you drive your car. So if I haven't got 10 minutes in my life to be able to go down to the store for a totally non-existent order, then my life is pretty out of control, if that makes sense. So the good news is it'll take me probably 10 minutes, 15 maybe, total to go all the way down there and come all the way back. In the meantime, I've got to put down a vlog, think of the positives of that one. And life is good. And so we go back to the whole story about the baddie thing. I want you to think about what it is in your life that you really do want to accomplish. And if you just spent an hour or two on it, you know, you'd probably get most of it done. And what I want you to do is to phone somebody or text them or email them or do whatever you do with your buddies and say, I need to do something and I need you to hold me accountable for the next week. Now, it needs to be somebody you tell the truth to, because one of the things I did was the first day that I was going to do the 1 hour, life got in the way, and I actually wrote to Jody and said, hey, life got in the way, so I'm pushing the hour forward to Tuesday and Wednesday rather than Monday, Tuesday. And that was fine. And the funny thing is, something happened in Jody's life and she also moved a day forward. So the whole point about this is, why is it that we will do it to support others, but we won't do it for ourselves to the same degree? I don't really care. You see, I don't really care. I just know for me it works. If I am doing it with a buddy, I am more likely to do it than if I'm doing it just for myself. Sad. I don't mind admitting that that is sad. But it is true of me. So the best thing I can do when I'm trying to accomplish things is to actually have a buddy to help me, to hold me accountable. What about you? How are you on these things? Do you do it better just because you're that disciplined and you can do it, or do you also need a buddy? Leave some comments in the comments below. That's what it's there for. And let us know, you know, how can we best support you? And if you'd like to, let us know what it is you're trying to accomplish, and the regular viewers will hold you accountable if you want to be held accountable until you get it done. And we've done some great things over the last few months where people have actually owned up to the fact that they want to do something, and we have held them accountable. And it's amazing how quickly they get it done. Not by beating up on them or anything else, just by checking in and saying, hey, it's still on our list, have you got it done yet? No? Okay. And then next week, it's still on our list, have you got anything done yet? So this is DearMamaSal saying, if you need a buddy, find one. And if you haven't got one, let us know, we'll find you one. And we can hold you accountable if that will help. This is DearMamaSal saying, remember to look after one another. But most of all, look after yourself. But when you need to get something done, find a buddy. It works. Bye-bye for now.